Right. Welcome, everyone, and happy holiday season, winter solstice. Happy Tuesday. In some countries, it's Wednesday. So, wherever you are, I hope you're having a fabulous day. I am really honored that you're all here with me. There's a lot of people on this call, and I never know what to expect during the holidays. Um, but I do find it can be a time that although very joyous and you're seeing maybe family members and friends and reuniting with people, it can be a stressful time and people get triggered. So I wanted to do something to help ease the ho holidays and give you some, a place to contemplate, a place to connect, a place to be with like minded people who really are dedicated to raising their consciousness, to being more self aware, to personal growth, to spiritual development, to developing love. Because when it all comes down to it, what else is there? Why do we even care about the holidays and reconnecting and all the stuff we go through, right? It all boils down to love, to friendship, to family or connecting. And, I'm one of those people where my family's all scattered about and we don't have big family get togethers. We haven't for years. But I've developed over the years a soul family. And quite frankly, in many cases, many of the people that are in my soul family, I feel closer to than my family of origin. And that's what happened over the years as I grew and stretched my boundaries and started to expand my ideas about what's possible for my life. And that can be the same for you too. Somebody told me once, it's never too late and you're never too old to have a happy childhood. And I thought, well, that's a novel idea. And I love that idea because no matter how old you think you are, time is an interesting thing. I was jotting down some notes earlier about what I wanted to talk to you about tonight. And the first thought in my mind so strong was the word time. Think about how often we use the word time. And yet the truth is, there is no time, there's only eternity. So no matter how old you are going to be alive and have been alive in some form, somewhere, forever into eternity. Now, think about that. Think about that. We've made up the concept of time to measure things, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a great way to um, have sort of a frame around our day, our month, our weeks, our years. But how many of us get so wrapped up in knots, wound up in tangled balls of knots, painful knots over things that relate to time? Well, it's the holiday time. Now I have to get presents. I have to do this. I have to go there. I have to add this to my list. Um, I have goals and it's the end of the year and I haven't achieved those goals. So now I'm late or I'm behind or I'm slow or I'm this or I'm that. Not good enough. See, these concepts of lack, which create pain, and I know a lot of you are here because you are or have experienced pain, or you have someone you love who's in a lot of pain. They're related to time, if you think about it. Well, it's taking too long to heal. This injury should be gone by now. This cut, this wound, my pain, my hip, my back. Why? It wasn't like that a year ago. Is it going to be like that in 5 years, 10 years? You see what I'm saying? It's all about time. And we have ideas about time that literally add to our pain. So, I'm obsessed with helping people relieve their pain. My whole purpose in life is digging deeper into these hidden reasons for pain and why people hurt and why they suffer and helping them not to continue that pattern and to be able to release these things. And it really dawned on me this morning when I was meditating about this and sharing with you tonight. We have to really take a good look at time. It's the time of year, it's the time of day. What kind of watch do you wear? My God, look at the prices of watches. We're obsessed with time. Underwater watches, watches for space, watches for women, watches for men, watches for kids, Mickey Mouse watch. I mean, it's amazing. Now, I'll tell you something interesting. Since I was 12 years old, every watch I put on stopped working. Now, I did not know what that meant for many, many years, but I've never worn a watch since that age because my frequencies affect the watches and it stops time. When I put on a watch, it stops time. And so I also learned that I didn't need a watch to live but my life, that I could feel into my day and flow with my day more. Now, don't get me wrong. In a perfect world, I probably would be late to every appointment because I would just be flowing in the moment. So it's not that I'm not conscious about setting time limits and being places on time. But I don't, I don't have a watch that I'm looking at. I set alarms to make sure I'm a certain place on time. But interestingly enough, and maybe you've experienced this as well, even if I have to wake up at a certain time, and this has happened to me for years, for decades, I'll set a clock, but I always wake up about 2 minutes before the alarm rings. Every single time. Now, my human side says, oh, you better set the clock. What if you don't wake up? But every single time, some part of me wakes me up before the alarm rings. So I've learned that there is a realm outside of time that we exist. There's a part of us awake and aware all the time. And it has nothing to do with the clock. And if we learn to embrace that side of ourself, merge with that side of ourself, become aware of that side of ourself more, it eases up the pain of human life. It eases up the pain that time can cause. And it's really the ideas about time and being late or being on time or being early. It's never enough. I'm either late, early, on time, going to miss it, going to be like this is creating and adding to the bundle of pain. These are ideas, everybody. And what I've discovered over the years is that everyone who's suffering from pain of any kind, and I don't just mean physical pain, you could be suffering from anxiety or depression. You might have panic attacks. Maybe you don't feel comfortable leaving the house. You don't feel safe. Maybe you have seizures. Maybe you have thyroid issues or arthritis, or you've been told you have fibromyalgia, or you haven't slept in years. That's an interesting one, the whole area of sleep as it relates to time. And I didn't get enough sleep. I went to bed too late. I got up too early. I got up on the wrong side of the bed. Think about how all these things have to do with time. Have you ever woken up and thought, I feel terrible and I just must not have gotten enough sleep? And then you beat yourself up and I shouldn't have watched that movie, or I ate dinner too late, right? I ate too much too late, or I didn't eat enough and then I went to bed hungry and my stomach was growling. And do you see what I'm getting at? Like, these are all ideas. What if all these ideas are only true because we believe they're true? We have an emotional reaction to our ideas. And I'd like to know, with a show of hands or a thumbs up or a heart, how many of you spend your days with an empty blank mind and you just go through your day and you're not thinking about the future, the past, or even the present? You're just completely blissed out with a blank mind. Anybody here? Let me check all these. Lots of people on this call. I don't see a single thumbs. Oh, Pete. All right, Pete. You are a unicorn. I love it. So Pete walks through life with a blank mind. Ooh, I thought, yeah, no, it's just Pete. Pete, you're going to lead the next call. All right. I know how to create a blank mind, but do I live there 24/7? No. And when I've been working with people over the years, the first thing I tend to notice, and I'm going to ask you this question, is they often are suffering because they're either thinking about something that happened in the past that is over and done with that they can't change. And they're angry or upset with themselves or someone else, or they're frustrated, they have a resentment, and they go over it and 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 over in their mind, as if thinking about it again and again can change something. Anybody ever do that? I spent decades like that. And I had a lot of anger, and gee, isn't it interesting? I had ulcers and they couldn't figure out why. And then there are many, many other people I work with who tell me, but Deborah, what if? What if this happens? And what if that happens? And what if that doesn't happen? And what if that? They're what ifing, right? What ifing is about being in the future. Now, you can't be in the future except in one place, which is in your mind. I'd like to know any of you right now who are capable of being here and being in the future. Like, explain that to me. If you're in the future, what you're doing is you're thinking about the future, right? You get that? Thinking about the future and telling yourself a scary story about what has not happened yet. That, my friends, is the formula for anxiety. If any of you are suffering from anxiety, I'm going to change your life right now. The next time you feel anxious, the next time you have panic, even the next time you feel perhaps overwhelmed, I want you to stop what you're doing. And I want you to take out paper and pen and get very honest and listen to the thoughts in your head. And I guarantee you, you have just been thinking about the future, about something that hasn't happened yet. And you're worried about it. You've got a fearful outcome that is a possibility, yes. And you're going over and over that in your mind. And you're scaring yourself sick. And I promise you, if you do that and you repeat that, and you repeat and you repeat and you rinse and repeat, and you create a habit of doing that, you will develop some sort of anxiety disorder that they'll tell you you have an anxiety disorder. I don't mean to laugh at you. I just mean to say, this is how we get these labels. And so many people end up with Band-Aid treatments that actually can make a laundry list of symptoms worse or add symptoms to the list that you didn't even have when you began, because you're in the future. And again, I sometimes bring humor to these things, and I don't mean to make fun of anyone or make light of it. I used to be in panic mode or anger mode and depressed and anxious, just flip-flopping back and forth for a long time. And it wasn't fun. And there was no lightness in my heart or my head. So I get it. But somebody said to me once, if you've got one leg in the future and one foot in the past, you're pissing on the present. And you know what? That was the truth. I was missing and pissing on the present. I missed out completely. And the present moment is where the power is. It's where the peace is. It's where the love is. It's where the joy is. It's where what we want is. And we all think about it. Isn't what you really want? Isn't it a feeling? Isn't it a feeling in your body or your mind or your emotions? Why do you want to live pain-free? Because it would feel different, right? People don't say to me, well, I want to live pain-free because it'll give me more money. I mean, I'm not saying that's not important or unrelated, but what's the number one reason you want to live pain-free? Because you don't like the feeling of pain. And whether it's physical pain, emotional pain, financial pain, relationship pain, not knowing your purpose pain, like it's for, as Feroz is saying, it's for the peace you're desiring in your soul. We're looking for peace in our soul. It's a feeling. I remember the day I said to my first mentor, I just want a moment of peace. That's all, I had hair falling out, ulcers, thyroid issues, digestive drama, pain everywhere, couldn't sleep, addicted to pills. But you know what I asked, what I wanted and what I asked for was I just want to feel peace and quiet in my head. That's what I really wanted. And when it all boils down to it, even if we have all the stuff, if we don't have the feeling of peace, if we don't feel the sense of love and purpose and connection, is the other stuff, the material stuff, is that even satisfying? I remember when I crashed and burned, my health. For those of you that don't know my story, it was over 30 years ago now, but I literally crashed and burned, like everything fell apart all at once. It was not a gradual thing for me. I'm a Leo, and when we do it big. So everything at once. My house, my husband, my career, my health, my sanity, like literally blew up overnight, and all of it changed, all of it within a 1 month period of time. It was a rather rocky road. And I felt like I was going insane. I really did. I wasn't even focused on all the stuff. I had a lot of material things, but I felt inside in my head and heart like I was going crazy. Like something had to change because I couldn't live with the feeling that I had going on inside. And I had a lot of fabulous material things that I had worked hard for. And I'm not saying they're not important, they're not valuable. I love material things, but they didn't bring me the feelings I was looking for. It was an inside job. And so if you've ever noticed that you might be on vacation, even in a gorgeous place, but if you're not feeling good on the inside, the place and the vacation doesn't feel good either. But then at another time when you're in a good place internally, you could be anywhere and be feeling good about it. So I ended up living in a very tiny apartment with a blanket and a chair, and left an entire home full of furniture, all the stuff. I left it all. And I have to tell you, I was the happiest I'd ever been in a tiny apartment with nothing on the walls and a blanket and a chair. Now you might think, well, that's crazy. How is that possible? But you see, it was because internally I had this huge relief because I recognized I was getting a second chance to reinvent my life and myself. And it was a freedom that I needed and was looking for. Now, I'm not saying you have to go to that extreme, that you have to do any of that. I'm just sharing what happened for me and how my happiness, it became very clear, especially that first year of my healing journey, that my happiness was not dependent on external things or people or places or objects or money. And that my health was also very dependent on my inner state of being, not doing, my inner state of being, not my doing. In fact, one of the hardest things I did during that first year was I stopped working for a few months completely. And when people would say, "What are you doing?" I had nothing to say, nothing to tell them, no story, no title, no great projects. And I have to tell you, the first 2 months of that was sheer agony. I didn't realize how identified I was with a title and a job. And I felt like a nothing and a nobody without a story, a project, a title, or this, to tell people. I had nothing. I said, I'm working on myself. I'm finding myself, right? And after a couple months, when I disentangled myself from my job, that was a great freedom. And I noticed a lot of relief, particularly in the area of chest pains and anxiety and headaches and sleeping at night and calming my digestion down, because I wasn't all bound up trying to be somebody that I thought you wanted me to be and have this story behind it. It was really life changing. So, those of you that know me, you know I talk about these hidden reasons that have to do with pain and suffering and symptoms of all types of dis-ease. When we're not in ease, we're in dis-ease. And so I'm going to ask you today, because we're going to take a look at today time, the past, the future. You know, this is the time of year where a lot of people are thinking about the new year. We're thinking ahead in the future, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't move in with it. Don't move in with it. You can look at it, think about it, contemplate it. It's important to take inventory of your life, just like a business. If you don't take inventory ever and you don't know what's on the shelves, you'll probably go bankrupt. Something will go awry. So it's good to take a look at all of this. And we want to take a deeper look because there may be hidden reasons that have caused you pain until now that you don't want to carry with you into the new year, right? It's an opportunity to stop, to pause, to reflect back, to look forward, to dream and vision, and to take inventory of the present moment and decide what we're going to take with us and what we're going to throw out. That's the purpose of labeling something the new year. Take a moment now. If you don't have it with you, grab a pen and paper. You're going to want to write something down. When you write something down and not type it on a computer, by the way, or just think about it, when you literally write with a pen or pencil, you're going to trigger a part of your brain that doesn't necessarily get used when you're typing or thinking about something. You will impress your memory in a different way, and you will start to notice ideas that you weren't aware were possibly in there start to come up and are revealed to you. So I do recommend, and I know if you're like me, I'm a little impatient. I always found writing very slow and tedious. I'm a very fast typer, so I prefer to type. But the greatest clarity comes when I take the time to slow down, to pause, and to actually write, not type, not think at 50,000 miles an hour, but to write. Laboriously, slowly, tediously, write. So, close your eyes for a moment, if you would. And I want to ask you some questions. When you think back about the past year, what was something that you wanted? Something that you wanted to either receive or have or achieve or experience? What was something that you wanted? And write that down. And it may be more than one thing that comes into your mind. Write down whatever comes into your mind. And you can go back and write more later after the call. Usually the first thing that pops into your mind is the most accurate. So don't go back and overthink it or judge it or decide if that's the best or the perfect right answer. Like, just write down what first popped into your mind. Now, what is something, close your eyes again, if you would. What is something that you wanted over the past year that you received? What's something that you wanted that you did receive? And what is something that you wanted that you did not receive or experience as you had hoped you would? What is something that you did not receive or experience as you had hoped that you would? What did you expect to happen that did not? What did you not expect to happen that did? What's something that you did not expect to happen that did happen or that you did experience? And what is something you think should have happened that did not? Now I want you to go back and look at your list and ask yourself, the something that you wanted that you did receive, how did that feel to receive something that you wanted? How did it feel to receive something you wanted? And how did it receive to not get what you wanted to receive? The thing that you did not want to receive or experience that you did get, or the thing that you did not receive that you wanted to receive or experience, how did that feel? And what about the event or experience that you expected to happen? You were sure it was going to happen and it didn't. How did that feel? Or something that was completely unexpected that you experienced? How did that feel? Something completely unexpected. Lori said, I did not expect to lose family members. How did that feel to experience something that was completely out of the blue, unexpected? You had no clue that that was happening or going to happen. And something that you think should have happened or that you should have received, but you didn't. How does that feel? Something you just felt it should have gone a certain way, or I should have had that happen, or they should have done something this way or that way, but it didn't go the way you thought it should. can you see that your feelings are connected to the way you think that events, people, experiences should go? Can you see how your feelings, your reactions are directly connected to the way you're thinking about your life, your experiences, what's happening, what's not happening, what you think should happen, or what you expect to happen, or what you want to happen, or what does happen? Your feelings are directly connected to that. Can you see that? Now I'm going to shake you up a bit. Here we go. Keep your heart open. Okay. What if nothing means anything except for the meaning I give it? What if nothing should go any which way? What if I can expect all I want, but it may not go the way I think it should? What if nothing has any meaning, good, bad, right, wrong, that would cause me to feel sad, depressed, angry, happy, thrilled? What if the meaning only comes from the meaning I give it, not from that thing, that experience, that person, that object that I got or didn't get? Are you with me? It's a different state of mind, a different state of consciousness. Type in the chat how you think you might feel if you spent more time in a place of not giving everything, everybody, everything that happens every day or doesn't happen, or what people do or don't do. If you spent more time allowing it all to be the way it is and not giving it meaning of good or bad or right or wrong, and not taking it personally, how do you think you might feel differently if you were to live like that? More peaceful, Justine said. Calm and at ease, Kathleen says. Definitely more at ease, less anxious, said Tanya. Yvette, a state of calm stasis. Lori said, I would love it. It would give me more freedom to get my stuff done. Marianne says, free. I'd feel more neutral, AKA peaceful. Peaceful, peaceful. Notice how many peaceful comments there are. It would feel like I'm present. A little empty. This is interesting. Cindy said a little empty. What do I fill that space with? That's very interesting and good observation. And I think that's what happens for a lot of people, is that when there is a void, an empty space, it can bring up fear of emptiness. And some people might associate that with something that doesn't feel good, and the desire to fill it up, which naturally does happen. Nature fills up spaces very quickly, which is why there isn't a lot of empty space unless we create that space. But happiness, calm, happy, peaceful, emptiness can be filled with your own presence, said Zainab. Exactly. You see, when there is empty space, you actually have the opportunity to connect with the essence of who you are and your connection to everything. And it's unattached to the things or the people or the need to have it go a certain way. And what will happen is, though, when you start to practice what we're talking about today, is your fears will come up. But remember, your fears are related to your beliefs, to your ideas. This is the root of all pain, suffering, symptoms of dis-ease. It starts with an idea, everybody. There's an idea you have in your mind about how things should be, how people should be, what they should do or say or not do or not say, what you should do or say or be or not do or not be or not whatever. There's an idea. It's an idea. let me ask you this. Are you look at the nature kingdom, plants, anything in nature, stars, planets, you look at animals, look at flowers, they're just expressing and being, right, according to their blueprint. Should they be different? Do you get up every day and say to your dog, you should be a cat, for God's sake? You're a lousy dog. You're ugly. You should be black and white, not brown. You don't do that. You don't hear a rose bush saying, I wish I were a daffodil. They follow their blueprint, their nature's God-given blueprint. In case no one told you, we are part of nature. We have forgotten this essential fact. We're part of nature. We have a blueprint. But I bet you everyone on this call, at least once in your life, has thought, I should be different. I should look different. I should be taller, or thinner, or fatter, or slimmer, or brown hair, or blonde hair, whatever. It's like, I should be different than I am, than my blueprint. Why are we different than the rest of nature? We're not, but we've been given the faculty of thought, of intellect, of self-will, of having a self-will separate from our blueprint. And if you think about this in your spare time, you're going to see this may be at the root of dis-ease. That my little self, SELF with a small s, my personality self, may be in conflict with my deepest blueprint self. And that comes from our conditioning, from someone else's thoughts that they laid on us, put in us into our computer when we were very young, usually. It's happening all the time. Ever look at a magazine? Ever watch TV? Is there anything on there that isn't telling you you should be different? Buy this, you'll smell better. Eat this, you'll lose weight. Buy this and wear this. And it's all about changing who you are to be better than you are. Where do you see the message, you're perfect just the way you are? Get better so you go to heaven. Get better so you don't go to hell. Be nicer, be smarter, get a better job, get more money, you see what I'm saying? Like there's a constant comparison, a scale, a hierarchy of good, bad, right, and wrong going on. And not only that, you couple that with the concept of time, and you're already behind. You're late, you're too old, you missed the boat. I had an 8-year-old, a parent bring an 8-year-old to me who had migraines, and they couldn't find anything on a test and they didn't know what to do for the poor kid. I had a conversation with the 8-year-old, and you know what I found out? He was worried about getting into college. He's 8, but his classroom, his teacher was preparing them for college and scaring them by saying to him, if you don't get perfect grades on your homework and do your homework every night, you'll never get into college. And if you don't get into college, these fear-based beliefs were being laid onto the children at 8 years old. Now, I'm all for achieving and studying and learning and enjoying life intellectually. Believe me, I like thinking. I'm not against thinking and learning. I'm a lifelong learner. But migraines at 8, there's something wrong with this picture. And then the solution was to put him on drugs that made him sicker. So you see, there's something wrong with our thinking, and we have to examine that. And this is at the root of how to live pain-free. And if you start to listen more closely to your own thoughts and thoughts of the people around you, which are coming out of their mouths, our language tells everything. What you say to yourself, what you hear from others, what you say to others, our language is vibrational frequency. And I know some of you like that terminology. It It's the leading edge understanding of what is going on in the world of health. It's all about vibrational frequency. Well, what does that mean? It means everything is affecting everything else through the vibration that it carries. Well, you and I carry a vibration. Where does that come from? It comes from your thoughts and your emotions. So if your thoughts are, well, it should have gone this way and it didn't go that way, and 10 years ago this happened and I'm still pissed off about it, or what if, oh my God, what if that? If our thoughts are scaring ourselves sick or pissing us off because we can't change it because it happened in the past, then our vibrational frequency starts to get heavy. Heavy. You can feel it. You know what I'm talking about. You start to feel heavy, like you're carrying around burdens. And you are. You're carrying around a vibrational burden that affects your nervous system, your immune system, your organs, your skin, everything. Your digestion, your ability to sleep, to rest, to restore and repair, because your body's designed to heal itself. But if you're constantly carrying bricks, how is it going to have the space to heal? So we have to learn to lighten up, which literally lighten up mean free up our vibration, raise our vibration, lighten up our vibration. Our frequency needs to raise higher. Well, how do you do that? And what does that mean? Well, guess what? The peace that we saw in the chat that everybody wants, the love, the joy, the freedom, the ease, the pain-free, that's a lighter vibration. Just think about it. Just thinking about it, you can feel the vibration. Close your eyes. I want to take you through a little experiment here. Notice how you feel when I say certain words. Keep your eyes closed and just pay attention to the sensations in your body. Depressed. Bricks. Burden. Pain. Suffering. Trauma. Heavy. Star. Starlight. Joy. Love. Freedom. Ease. Comfort. Energy. Vitality. Health. Dreams. Goals and visions. Do you feel the difference? Just the word, right? That's a word. I spoke a word and you felt the vibrational difference. Okay, now think about this. They know from science, the average person's thinking 90,000 thoughts a day. Those are words. Every word has an emotional component connected to it. Are your words lowering, burdening your vibration, or lifting and lightening your vibration? It's not to beat yourself up. It's not to judge yourself. It's to become aware of how you're affecting your health, your energy, and your pain-free living or non-pain-free living. How are you affecting yourself through the way you think, through your words? Whether they're silent or out loud doesn't even matter. We're thinking them, and thoughts are a force as real as electricity. Those of you who know me heard me say it again and again. It's a powerful force. It's the root. You, my friends, are a powerful being. You are a creator being. You create vibrationally with your thoughts, your words, and your emotions. You create constantly. Now, that's the good news or not, depending on the inventory you take starting today of what's going on in here. Okay. If all day long, I'm not enough, I should have this, I should have that, why didn't I? What if? Bricks. You may be asking yourself the wrong question. Well, what if this terrible thing happens? And what if I don't get it? Or what if I lose it? Or what if I get hurt? Or what if it doesn't work? Right? That's what normally people tell me that they're thinking. Flip it. The formula for the new year that I want to leave you with today is find it and flip it. Write that down. I want you to find it and flip it. If you find yourself thinking, what if, fill in the blank scary story, I want you to flip it and say, well, and flip it to the opposite. Well, what if I have the most amazing year ever? What if my health is just fantastic? What if I'm full of energy? What if I get the job? What if money flows? What if I fall in love? What if I'm free to travel? What if I love going to dance lessons? What if I, but I want you to flip it. Even if until now you've thought, well, that's impossible. That's impossible. That'll never happen. That's not for me. I don't deserve that. I could never, would never, will never. See what I'm saying? I want you to stop, pause, create the space, and flip it. Flipping is the key to 2022. Stop, pause, create space, and in that empty space, flip it in a new direction. It may feel funny. It may feel weird. So what? So what? Does it feel good to walk around thinking, oh, nothing ever changes for me. Nothing's ever worked for me. I've tried everything. My mother had this. My father had this. I'm too old for things to change. It's in my genes. What if it's in your head, not your genes? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you're making it up or that your symptoms aren't real. They are. I get it. But our feelings and our thoughts add to the pain or pull out and release the pain. We're affecting that pain. We're affecting the symptoms. The body is the expression of our state of consciousness. I'm going to say that again. Your body is an expression, a physical expression of the state of your consciousness. Have you ever noticed how in the same day you can feel both great and miserable in the same day? Sometimes in the same hour. If you're really good, maybe within the same 5-minute period, you could feel awesome and you can feel like crap. How is that possible? Because of this. Because of this. Our thoughts affect our physiology. Our thoughts affect our physiology. They show up in our physiology. I'm glad you like that, Tracy. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. We are way more powerful than we've been told. And I'm going to remind you every time you show up in my universe of that, at least once, if not more, till it's such a broken record, you can hear me in your head. I want you to hear me in your head, even if I'm not with you, saying, you're more powerful than anyone told you. I want you to remember that. I want you to dream about that. I want you to practice that, especially if you've been in pain, especially if you had trouble with 2020, which a lot of people did. It's been a lot of pain on planet Earth in 2020 and 2021. But remember, we can literally start our life over at any given moment. It's not about a year and I got to wait till the new year and the New Year's resolution. BS. It's this moment, literally right now, 5:52, December 28th is where I am. Or what they tell me, it's how they mark where I am at this moment in time where I live, okay? At least that's what my computer says. And at this very moment in time, I could make a decision, and that's the key. I could make a decision to change the way I think about everything. Write down, make a decision, and underline that, because that's the prerequisite. It doesn't just happen. You have to make a decision. I'm going to start my life over, my day over, my week over, my year over now in this moment. And write down the date and the time and make that decision and then tell somebody, because it's one thing to think it by yourself, but when you tell someone, very different level of commitment. When you're accountable to someone else, you will find that you'll take it more seriously, which is why it's so powerful to be in a group, to have a support group or a support buddy or a mentor or something. It's one thing to think alone in your living room and tell yourself, I'm going to do this. How many of you have done that before? And then by evening, you're like, I'll do it tomorrow. It was no big deal, right? I'll start tomorrow. Oh my God, if I had a nickel for every time I said that, right? But when you tell your accountability partner, I'm going to do something today, and you have to face that person again. See, we do need each other, and we matter for each other, and we can help each other. So I'd like you to type in the chat and tell on yourself one thing right now that you're going to make a decision to do differently beginning today that you know would help you as we move into the new year. What's one thing that you could redo, undo, or stop doing completely that you've been doing, and that you're going to start doing? What are you going to flip, Luna? What will you flip? All right, I'm going to clean up all the clutter in my house. Okay, there's one. What else? I'm going to do my PT exercises every day like I was asked to do. All right. I'm going to journal consistently. These are good. What else? I'm going to stop running from my fear because the fear is blocking what I desire. I'm going to face what I desire with courage. I'm going to keep promises to myself and be authentic, regardless of what other people say or think. I'm going to meditate once every day. Here's another one. I'm going to meditate in the morning. I'm going to do energy work daily. I'm going to write letters to people that I want to work with. I'm going to move more and not procrastinate. These are good. I'm going to do exercises consistently. I'm going to stop worrying about how long it'll take me to heal and focus on doing what I need to do. I'm going to believe in my well-being. I'm going to turn off my TV by 9 p.m. I'm going to create more of a routine to get my exercises done. I'm going to flip negative thoughts. I'm going to forgive. I'm going to breathe and be in the moment. These are beautiful. I'm going to commit 100% to my healing journey and live in the moment. I'm going to think positive, have faith, believe in healing. I'm going to learn to forgive. I'm going to allow myself to be creative, have creative time. I mean, these are fabulous. You get the idea, right? Yeah. And what you'll find is when you commit to something and you actually take the action, the feelings follow the actions. Write that down. Feelings follow actions. Feelings follow actions. A lot of people don't take action because they say, well, I'll wait till I feel different or feel better, or I'm happier, or I'm this, I feel different. Feelings follow actions. So you take the actions first, and then you'll be shocked at how different you feel. Now, if you've been in physical pain and you want to make a decision to go back to yoga or exercise, and you may not be ready for the fullest expression of that right now yet, you take the action, one small step in the direction of the bigger dream, and that will help you feel more motivated and inspire you to keep taking the small action steps rather than, oh, well, I can't do that big thing, so I just won't do anything at all. And then you flip back to feeling bad about yourself. See, people tend to jump from nothing to everything. It's too big of a jump. And what you want to do is you want to look at what's the next small step that would stretch me a little bit, maybe take me out of my comfort zone, but not terrify me so that I don't do it. What action am I willing to take starting today that would move me forward in the direction of my big dream? If you have a big dream, you may not, but if you do, this idea, and I've seen some of it in the comments, I'm going to now exercise every day for the rest of my life. When you haven't gotten off the couch in 2 years. Okay, so good luck. It's not going to happen. If it happens one day, you're not going to do it every day. It's too big of a leap. So what you might want to start with is once a week, I'm going to exercise. Now you might find that it feels so good the day after or the day of that you decide, I'd like to do it twice a week. You see? But if you say, well, starting today, I'm going to exercise every day, 45 minutes, lifting weights, you're going to be sore, first of all. Then you're going to say, well, I don't want to do that. It hurts. I want to sit down and eat pizza. So you've got to make it realistic at the same time. Stretch, but don't leap into the void so over such a big gap that you end up backtracking. One small step that stretches you, moves you forward, and wait till you feel good from it. Keep doing it till you notice you feel good from it, and then stretch it again. When that action becomes easy and comfortable, it's time to stretch. See? But if you're always making yourself so uncomfortable, you're not going to stick with it. This is why New Year's resolutions don't work. I've never been to yoga, so now I'm going to go to yoga every day because it's a New Year's resolution, right? I'm going to get in shape. Anybody say that before? I'm going to lose 100 pounds. And within a week, a month, maybe, you're right back on the couch and you're not doing it. It's too big of a leap. So do one small step. Talk to yourself differently about it. Take the action in spite of how you feel. When that new action starts to feel, wow, this is kind of like normal now and easier and maybe easy, and I like it. You do it more, increase it, take another action, expand your boundary a little at a time. Does that make sense? You'll find you'll get further like that. All right, so yes, 10 jumping jacks a day, every day for a while. See, you could probably do 10 jumping jacks a day, right? But are you going to do jumping jacks for a half hour every day? Probably not. But 10 jumping jacks, you probably could do that. So do it and see how it feels. And you may want to think about a day off from anything that's good for you, even if it's good for you, becomes monotonous if you do it every day. We all need the space, the emptiness, the change, the variety. Some people need more variety than others, more space than others. This thing of every day, you see the time thing again? Oh, every day is better. No, it isn't. Every day is monotonous and a rut. Every day of the same sunshine might bore the hell out of you after a while, and you would wish for rain. Every day the same isn't necessarily better. We need a break. We need variety. We need the space. So give yourself the change, the variety. Now, I want to ask you, let's see, and I'm looking at the time. There's a lot I want to share with you today, but we can't do everything at once. All right, so priorities here. I'm going to guide you through a little meditation tonight that will also help you anchor in your desired future and let go of your past and bring you more into the present moment. And so notice what we've done tonight. We've used our left brain and we've been thinking, right? We've written stuff down. So you've been seeing something visually. You've been hearing, listening inside. So you've been using the auditory sense. You've been listening to me. So your auditory, your visual, your writing is kinesthetic. You've been engaging all of your senses, except I didn't have any essential smelly oils for you. Sorry, I haven't figured out how to do that cyberspace yet. And we've been using a lot of the left side of your brain, and now we're going to shift into using the right side of your brain, which is the imagination. And your feeling nature is also the right side. And the creative aspect that you all have, whether you believe it or not, is your right side of your brain. And we're going to integrate the left and the right so that you have your whole brain on board with what you want to create. That's the ideal state, because so many people stay stuck in the left side only, which is a very linear, step by step. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Nothing wrong with that, but it's very one-dimensional. When you get into the right side of your brain and you start using your imagination and you imagine what's possible, it opens up a world of possibilities. This is an expansion of possibilities that not linear. And it opens you up to also receiving, whether you believe it or not, whether you agree that this idea I'm about to throw out there exists or not. It opens you up to the possibility that you can receive help from the invisible realm, that it's not just all on your shoulders from a left brain linear logical, I'm going to do this and then this and then this and then I'll get what I want. When you use the right side of your brain and you open up to the possibilities, that's where, if any of you have ever experienced synchronicity, coincidences, it opens up a whole new world, which I don't call it magic, because it's not magic. It's actually vibrational frequency, and it's how everything works. And it's just invisible to the naked eye, but it's very real. And it's so much more fun than trying to figure it all out with your mind, exhaust yourself with overthinking, step by step, plan it out and do it all yourself. Oh my God, nothing wrong with that. Okay. But it's more of the brick zone. What if we lighten up and we start to expand into the realm of possibility where people, places, and things could just show up? There could be unexpected surprises. That's, to me, a lot more fun. So we're going to do that now. So if you would now just take everything off your lap, clear your space. And I want you to either sit back, you can lie down if you like as well, but sit back and get as comfortable as you can in the chair or wherever you are. And I'd like you to close your beautiful eyes. And take a deep breath into your low belly. And then bring that breath up into your beautiful heart. And now open your mouth and listen to the sound as you sigh. And exhale every drop of breath out until you're so empty you absolutely need to breathe in again. into your low belly, expand your ribs, let it come up, up, up into your lungs. And then open your mouth and just like a balloon, slowly let that air out and feel how good it feels to let go until every drop is out, out, out. And you absolutely need to inhale again and feel how good it feels to receive the breath and inhale. Receive, 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 and then let go and give it back. Give it out. Let it go. Both of them feel good. Now again, inhale, receive, receive, take it in, fill up, up, up. When you're completely full, let it all go. Give it back, let go, release, exhale. Now continue to breathe just normally and naturally, but realize that both receiving and giving, both taking in and letting go, holding on and releasing, they both feel good and they're both necessary. You can't live just inhaling or just exhaling. You need both. They both feel good. One is not better than the other. You are allowed to receive. And it feels good to give. Now I'm going to ask you to use your imagination. There's no right or wrong, no perfect way to do this. So whatever comes up for you, as I ask you to use your imagination, let it be okay. Whatever comes into your mind, let it be good enough, just the way it is. Trust what comes into your mind as you follow along. I'd like you to think about the most painful thing that occurred for you in the past year. And it may be something that has been longer than a year. But the first thought that pops into your mind, or maybe it's an image or a feeling, I want you to create a symbol that represents that painful thing, whatever it is. It could be a person, an experience, a body part, whatever that pain is for you. Create a symbol in your mind, in your imagination. You may see it, you may smell it, feel it, taste it, touch it. I want you to imagine it just the way you imagine. There's no right or wrong. And now I want you to take that symbol and imagine that in your hand, you're holding a clear helium balloon. And I want you to take that symbol and just follow me here. Imagine that it's possible to take that symbol in your other hand and just pop it into the balloon. So now it's inside this clear helium balloon. You can see the symbol of the most painful experience in your balloon. Just pop it in there. Now, I want you to walk to the door. And I want you to do whatever's necessary to go outside. You might need to walk the stairs. You might need to go on an elevator. You might just be right outside. But I want you to go outside. And I want you to imagine that in front of you is a giant, empty, beautiful field. There's grass and flowers, and it's a beautiful blue sky day, sunny day. You've got this balloon in your one hand with the most painful thing from last year or from whenever. I want you to look up at the sky and hold that balloon tight. Hold it tight. And do not let that balloon go. I want you to ask yourself a very important question first. Am I 100% ready and willing to let this pain go? It's okay if you get a no. Is there anything else that I need from the experience of this pain? If there is, listen. If you're ready and willing to let this go now, I want you to look up at the sky and let go of the string. And begin to notice the balloon and a gust of wind blowing it up and back behind you. I want you to watch, imagine the balloon going higher and higher, but in the direction back behind you. See it getting further and further away and further back behind you, and notice it's getting smaller and smaller and harder to see the balloon. And the wind is getting stronger, and the balloon is going higher, getting smaller, moving further behind you, and higher and behind you. It's turning into a teeny tiny speck. You're not even sure, is it still there? I want you to watch until it is completely gone. Now come back into the room you're in, the chair you're sitting on. Feel your feet on the floor. Keep your eyes closed. Take a breath in and a big sigh out, and turn your palms open in a gesture of being open to receive. Stretch your arms out wide to the side and say out loud with energy, I'm open to new possibilities right now. It's possible for me to be happy, to be free. Now come to a comfortable seat. Keep your eyes closed. And I want you to imagine something that would light up your heart. If you were to have this person, place, experience, thing in your life, what would light up your heart? What would lighten your energy? What would raise your vibration? What's the greatest thing you can imagine for yourself, your life, your health? And whatever that is, I want you to stretch. How much can you allow yourself to imagine? How much joy, how much goodness, how much happiness are you willing to imagine for yourself? Take it to where you actually almost get uncomfortable, like, oh my God, I don't know, could I receive that much? Could I feel that good? Take it there. Now, what color would that be? What shape would that have? What symbol would represent that? Imagine that now. See it, feel it, hear it, smell it, taste it. Use your imagination in whatever way your imagination works. There's no right or wrong. Imagine that you could take a photo of that symbol and shrink it down the size of the tip of your pinky finger. Imagine that photo right on the tip of your pinky finger. Now take the tip of your pinky finger and place it between your eyebrows on your third eye and press that image into your third eye. Take it in as you inhale, breathe it into your third eye. Yes, I'm willing to receive that. I do receive that. I am receiving that right now. Now take your pinky finger, place it on your heart. Breathe in with your heart and breathe that into your heart. Yes, I'm willing to receive that. Yes, I am receiving that. Yes, I am open. That's for me. Breathe it into your heart. Now take your pinky finger and place it below your navel, your stomach, and breathe it into your gut. Yes, I can digest this. Yes, this is for me. Yes, I'm comfortable with this. Yes, yes, yes. Now open your palms and just lay them on your lap and sit quietly with your eyes closed. And just we'll take 1 minute of complete open space silence and just be with what you just took in and what you just let go of. In quietness and in confidence will be your strength. Know that you have the power within you to influence your body, mind, spirit, and entire life. In quietness and in confidence will be your strength. Confidence will come with practice. So take the time for quietness and to practice and to be aware of what lights you up. Take that into your daily practice. Be who you're meant to be without judging, comparing, without a time clock, knowing that you're exactly where you need to be, where you're supposed to be, where you're meant to be. You're there right now, and you always are. Keep paying attention to your inner guidance. You'll know that by how you feel. Listen to your heart, listen to your gut, and let your head back up your heart and your gut and support that beautiful feeling nature that's guiding you all the time. You know when you're in the right place for you. You'll feel it. Make choices that support you. Say to yourself, talk to yourself, give yourself what someone who loves you would say or do or give you. Be that for yourself. Tell yourself right now 3 things that you love about yourself. And now take a deep breath in and out. And come all the way back. Right here, right now. And slowly open your eyes. Could you feel it? Could you imagine it? So now you have it inside you. It's with you. It's part of you, right? You can add to the dreams. You can add to the love. You can expand this. You can act on it. You can listen and begin your new year now. And let every moment be a new opportunity outside the realm of time and space. Without those limitations, you're free. You're free to create. You're free to be who you want to be. It's not even who you're meant to be. You're so free. You're free to be who you want to be. You're free to try on new clothes anytime you want. So my wish for you is that this, starting today, leads you into a period of time of experiences where you free yourself from any jail cell that you feel like you've been in. You allow yourself to play, to imagine. Remember when you were a kid, did you ever play dress up? Did you ever play pretend? We called it, let's play pretend. Kids get this. They know how to visualize. They didn't even know they were doing it. But they allow themselves out of the limitations, out of the box. I want to play pretend with you this year. Yeah. Let's let this be the year of freedom, letting go of the restrictions. There may be external sometimes restrictions, but internally, we are sovereign. No one can restrict us internally ever without our permission. So with that, if I can help you further, if I can support you further, if you want to tell on yourself to me, I am all ears. I have 2 big ears and many ways that I can help you. So please come back. There are free calls. There's the High Speed Healing Universe. There's the Pain-Free Living Program. There's one-on-one. There's something for everyone. So please don't hesitate to be there for yourself. If you need and want that support, that's my joy in sharing that with you. Just reach out and you will hear from me. And in the meantime, have a very beautiful rest of today and tonight and to what we call tomorrow, which is just an extension of now. So whatever your now is, wherever it is, whatever time you think it is in your now, enjoy your now and share that joy that you're going to be feeling. You don't even need to share it. You're going to exude it like a neon sign, and other people will ask you, what have you been smoking? Because they're going to feel it. They're going to see it in your face, And you won't be needing to take anything from the outside in. It's from the inside out, my friends. So thank you for all the thank yous. My heart is full. Happy Tuesday. Happy New Year, happy holidays, happy whatever. Just plain old happy. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here.
I love you too. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Really.
Thank you.
So good to
Thank you.
good to
Love
share.
and blessings.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
And feel free
Bye.
to share this. We'll send out the replay tomorrow. You're welcome to share this with anyone that you feel would benefit, and spread the love. That's what we all need to do in this coming year. Let's just keep spreading the higher vibration. And that's what helps shift our consciousness. We're forming a real collective here that has real power in it. So share it, share it, share it. Turn on your neon sign. Okay. Much love, everybody.
Oh, much love to you all. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.